Credit to Florida, really good basketball team. I thought the final 8 minutes of the first half was the best we've defended all year. I thought great physicality. The communication was really good. For the most part, limited them to one shot in that stretch. It enabled us to get out in transition. I thought we moved the ball well there in the first half. Guys stepped up and hit some big threes for us to go into the break up 6. Second half started. I think when you look at the story of the game, obviously they physically dominated us in the painted area. At one point, we were 12-1 assist-to-turnover ratio in the game. We finished 3-6 in that stretch where they built their lead, and we weren't able to knock down some of those threes that we were hitting earlier in the game. And then obviously the offensive glass, they just overwhelmed us there. If you would have told me we'd hold Clayton, Richard, and Martin to 9 of 32 from the floor, I would have taken that every day. But up front, Chinyelu has a career game, and then Ha also a double-double.
Yeah, I mean, just the growth of your freshmen, Robert Miller, Curtis Givens, you're giving them more opportunities tonight, Victorious Miller as well. Just can you speak to each of them and how, they've grown throughout the last really several weeks and really helped you all out?
Yeah, starting with Curtis, Glenn, it's his role's increased because of the defensive end of the floor. He's got good size and physicality there. He's really helping us, and now you're seeing him play with more confidence on the offensive end. Goes 4 assists, 0 turnovers tonight. Hits 3 threes. Would have liked to have been a higher percentage from the floor, but I think he's just making a lot of winning plays for us. And then Rob Miller, really has invested a lot of time. You see him getting better and better every time out. His skill level on full display tonight. Thought he was really good in the ball screen attack. Made good decisions when to drive it, when to make the extra pass, and then I know we talked about it earlier in the year. He got off to, I think, a 0 for 12 start from 3, and sometimes you lose a little confidence there, but I really believe in his shooting and his mechanics, and he'll keep getting better there. He got 10 rebounds for us tonight as well, but unfortunately we weren't able to give him enough help on the glass.
Your defense was really working great in the second half, end of the first half, like you said. What did they do differently as the second half wore on, other than being more physical?
Yeah, I thought in the first half, and of course Glenn, I have to watch the film, but I thought we did a really good job in our switches and keeping them in front of us on the dribble. So what they ended up taking were a lot of contested mid-range shots off the dribble. They're 32% from the floor, 28 from 3. I thought in the second half, in the half court, they put their head down and they whipped us off the bounce, got to the rim and finished those plays, number one. Number two, the second shot opportunities. Get 19 offensive rebounds. They only turn those into 17 points. Usually it's a higher number if you give up that many. But that, and then the third, I just thought in that last 10 minutes when we didn't make threes and we turned it over, they're relentless in their pace and transition, and they made us pay right there.
Obviously a tough second half for the Tigers, but some really phenomenal performances from both Robert Miller and Mike Williams, CG3. What's the mindset going into the rest of the season?
Yeah, I think it has to be the same. Obviously disappointed in the results and the record. But you just keep coming back to work every day to get better, keep improving as a player, and try to find a way to win the next game. And so I think some of those younger guys who are staying committed to the process of the player development program, the weight room, the film study, the extra time in the gym, are reaping the benefits of that work right now.
Cam Carter had a tough game. I guess what did Florida do to make it a harder night for him?
Yeah, I thought they did a really good job from an effort standpoint of flying at our shooters. I thought we could have been a little bit more precise in our passing to shooters. I thought we took ourselves out of rhythm on some of our passes there. But I thought when we had them open looks, I thought they ran at them with urgency. To contest or run them off the three-point line. And, we just got them a couple looks off ball screens over there on the empty side. It just wasn't his night to knock those down tonight.
Yeah, Coach, we've talked about Jai before. With 5 assists, mostly playing at that 4 spot, how important is he as that kind of connective piece to let your offense get going?
Well, that's what he does. He's just, he's a see it and fix it guy on both ends of the floor. Offensively, he makes the right play, gets the ball to shooters for open threes. Defensively, he's able to do a good job switching. Even undersized, when he's at the 4, I think his post defense is really good. He ends up, I think he was, -5 on the night when he was on the floor. So, we need him out there. We need him on the court.
I mean, Mike Williams has come a really long way this season. We saw him a lot last season, haven't really seen him much this season. What did you like from him tonight, and really his persistence throughout the season to know that when his number is called, he's going to put those shots up?
Right. I think he's worked hard in practice in the last several weeks, and his roles continue to increase. It starts with his ability to shoot the 3. 3 of 6 tonight. I think he's a tough competitor, and I think he's all about the team and all about winning. And, he's another guy who's, his impact on the floor was positive for us tonight.
Robert Miller spoke earlier about how it was really just the rebounds that I think he thinks that you guys needed to go up there and get. Can you kind of talk about what you guys did on the glass and how that didn't work out and what you look to do moving on?
Yeah, I think, especially in the first half, we forced the shots that we wanted to force. Wish we could have closed out some of those possessions. But in the second half, I just thought the hardest part, and we've continued to struggle with this, when they beat us off the dribble, now we're in rotations. And now we're scrambling around. Our guys like Rob and Damian have to come over to help, and now we're out of position to go get some of those defensive rebounds. So, I thought it started with the transition off our own turnovers and mistakes, and then, finished with our inability to contain the dribble one-on-one.
Did you debate bringing in Corey Chest or Collins, like the 2-forward look, at some point when there was more physicality?
Yeah, we looked at it some. It wasn't a very effective lineup for us tonight, even though the minutes weren't many. It wasn't effective for us when we had the big lineup on the floor in the first or second half. So there's certainly trade-offs. It's a very fair question. Offensively for us, our better opportunity from a ball security, assist to turnover, and a three-point shooting standpoint and spacing is the 4-guard attack. But we got to figure out ways to rebound the ball better and protect our paint better if that's the case.
Coach, we haven't seen Derek Fountain since Arkansas. Could you kind of give us an update on where he's at right now?
Yeah, Derek is, when we played at Oklahoma, he was out due to illness, missed a couple days, is back in practice now, and it's just, I think it's hard to play 10, 12 guys, so it's just kind of the rotation, the way it's played out right now since the Oklahoma and South Carolina games. All right, thanks so much.